monster, you say damn, monster, monster. Yeah, when I say monster, you say damn, monster, monster. That's right, we got the green light, it's a party in the air tonight. Let's go, this is how we roll on tires that are not in the right. Doesn't matter where you're from, it's running through your blood. Time to get like everybody buckle up. You're waiting, now you're made to the greatest show on earth. It's the monster.
Minneapolis, this is Monster Jam!
Minneapolis, are you ready to kick off some Monster Jam? Make some noise, come on! Our first competition of the event is JCB Racing. All 12 trucks have been seated into a bracket based on their race times from our event right here last night in Minneapolis. The four fastest drivers the four fastest drivers receive an automatic bye into round two. But up first, 8 Monster Jam superstars are going head to head. So Minneapolis, one more time, you gotta get loud. Are you ready for some JCB Racing?
Getting ready to kick off this competition, Jim Kohler, Avenger. He's facing off against Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. Starting up the competition on a Sunday. But I always say if you're gonna come to a Monster Jam event, make it on a Sunday because they can tear these trucks up, throw them inside those vans and send them off to the next spot. Here we go! Jim Kohler, Avenger, walks away with the victory, making it look easy out there. Matt Pagliarulo was all over the track, was able to save the truck, but ran into a little bit of trouble coming around that first pass and hitting the ramp. We'll see if we have that on that replay. Super glued to the action replay. 22.187 for Jim Kohler, Avenger. He's moving on to the second round of JCB Racing. Your next competition, Kevin Crocker, Megalodon. His opponent, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Adam Anderson took his first racing victory. Kevin has one as well. Here we go. Anderson Gravedigger. As I was saying, he took home his first racing competition victory at last night's event. Can he make it through the gauntlet of drivers? Here he takes out one. Kevin Crocker goes down. We got this Monster Jam timing system, 20.075. That is their fastest time so far of the afternoon. Adam Anderson Gravedigger moving on. In your third matchup of round one, it's Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. Battling it out with Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Joe Foley took a skills competition victory yesterday, but he's been struggling in JCB racing. He's trying to get right in these competitions. I was talking to him at the pit party earlier today, and he was saying he's trying to get this event, or excuse me, this competition right from. Does he find his groove? Let's do it! And your winner, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. Moving on to round two, starting right on a Sunday. Was a little bit behind Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash on that run, but was able to make up ground. 20.171 gets it done for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. Down goes Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. And we're moving on in JCB Racing. Chris Kohler, Mayhem. He's gonna be facing off against Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Taking a look here at the JCB Racing bracket. So you see Classroom Crusher will be facing off against Avenger. Camden Murphy has the most racing wins. After that, Lucas Stabilizer facing off against Gravedigger. And then Excalibur facing off against El Toro Loco. We still have our final matchup here in JCB Racing. So let's get him to the line and get this thing going. It's Mayhem facing off against JCB Digatron. Who's moving on to round two? It could only be one. Chris Kohler still looking for his first racing competition win. I think that's the same for Tristan. He's an extremely strong racer, but keeps running into issues. Yesterday was eliminated in round one, or excuse me, in round two. He had that automatic bye. Today he finds himself competing in round one against Chris. They are set at the line. Let's go green! Chris Kohler Mayhem. Chris Kohler Mayhem moving on into round two, and down goes JCB Digatron. Major implications in the point standings for JCB. Tristan is currently second in the overall point standings, trying to get that first place spot, and you have your fastest time of the afternoon at 19.583 for Chris Kohler Mayhem. He's moving on to round two. And there you have it. That is round one of JCB Racing.
It is time for round two of JCB Racing. The four fastest drivers from round one will now go head-to-head with the four drivers who received that automatic bye into round two. So Minneapolis, you gotta get loud again. Come on, who's ready for some more JCB Racing?
Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Jim Kohler, Avenger. Camden was also eliminated early in JCB Racing yesterday. He does have 2 competition victories in JCB Racing, the most on this series. Classroom Crusher set at the line, Avenger set. Let's go racing! And your winner, Camden Murphy Classroom Crusher, takes out Jim Kohler, Avenger, and Camden will be moving on into the semifinals. That is your first driver that is set in the semifinal bracket. Let's go ahead and take a look at the official times. And that will be the fastest time of the afternoon, a 19.310 for Camden Murphy Classroom Crusher. Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Her opponent, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. They are already set at the line. Let's do it! Close competition. We're going to go ahead and go to the replay. This Monster Jam official timing system goes down to 1/1000th of a second. Let's find out who took this victory. Take a look at the video board. Can you see who it is? Glued to the action, glued to the replay. And they're going to go to the timing system. They say it's too close, so whichever time comes up here is their winner, and it's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, just taking it. Adam Anderson with a 19.980 moves on to the semifinals, where he'll be facing off against Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Extremely fast time there between, or close matchup there between Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, and Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. It goes down to 1/1000th of a second. Unfortunately, I'm not too good at math, so I can't tell you the time difference between them, but I can assure you that it was a close competition. Coming up next, we got your drivers out there on the track. He made it to the finals yesterday. Can he do it again? It's Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur. His opponent, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. Joe gets out of round 1, making it to round 2, but can he make his first semifinals appearance of the series? We had to find out. This driver has been on fire. That is Mike Pagliarulo, who's across from him in Excalibur. They are set. Let's go racing! Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. For the first time this series, he's moving on to the semifinals, and I think I put the announcer jinx on Mike Pagliarulo. They're telling me he had a broken axle. You saw as soon as he took off, he was broken from the jump, and he did not finish. So he goes from earning 11 points yesterday, finishing in second in this competition, to possibly with the lowest score today with the did not finish. We'll find out, but on goes El Toro Loco. He's moving into the semifinals, but we still have one more matchup in round 2. Colt Stevens, Thunderoris, facing off against Chris Kohler, Mayhem. Two second-generation drivers out there on the track. Chris is also been looking good over the few weeks, and so has Colt, but yesterday was a little bit of a tougher competition for him. Can he get back on track? They are on the track. They're going to go ahead and restage them. To say the staging lights go purple, so when those flash, that means they need to restage. If you see it at the end zones there, you see the lights, that's how they know when to go in this competition. So Colt Stevens, he is set. Chris Kohler is set. Let's go racing. And your winner, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars. He's moving on to the semifinals. Down goes Chris Kohler. Mayhem just gets that victory on that last jump in a 19.892. He's moving on to the semifinals.
It's time for the JCB Racing semifinals. These are the 4 fastest drivers we've got today, all gunning for the first 12 points of this event, as well as that top spot on that BKT overall event leaderboard. So Minneapolis, come on, you know what to do. Are you ready to meet your semifinalists or what?
If you think that Classroom Crusher is moving on to the finals, let me hear you make some noise. Or if you think Gravedigger is going to be moving on, let me hear ya. Minneapolis has spoken, but there can only be one. Who's moving on to the finals, Classroom Crusher or Gravedigger? Here we go. And your winner, Classroom Crusher, he is set and moving on to the finals. Camden Murphy looking for his 3rd JCB Racing competition win of the series. Can he get another? He also has the fastest time. Take a look at the official times in 19.196. That is now the fastest time of the afternoon. They just keep getting quicker out there on the track. Will that continue? We'll find out. We still have one more competition remaining here in the semifinals. So let's go ahead and ask you again, if you think Thunder Roars is moving on, make some noise. Or if you think it's El Toro Loco moving on to the finals, let me hear ya. Let's find out. Colt Stevens or Joe Foley? Thunder Roars already moving forward. Joe Foley took home his first skills competition win yesterday. Can he get his first racing win of this series? Colt is set at the line. El Toro Loco finally moving forward. Those lights are yellow. Let's go green! And your winner, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars. He's moving on to the JCB Racing Finals, where he will face off against Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Your finals are set in JCB Racing.
Minneapolis, we've made it to the JCB Racing Finals. Make some noise, come on! These are the two fastest drivers of today's event. Only one is going to walk away with those first 12 points and that top spot on that BKT leaderboard. So Minneapolis, come on, keep it going. Are you ready to meet your finalists?
He has 2 racing competition victories on the series, and he's your overall series leader from Itasca, Illinois. It's Monster Jam Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. He has one JCB Racing competition win on the series, a 2-time World Finals champion from Houston, Texas, Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Well, as my friend Eliza says, come on, here we are, they're set in the final round. Only one can win. Here we go. And your winner, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Camden Murphy walks away with his 3rd racing competition victory of the season. He also has the most competition wins and also had the fastest time of the afternoon, 19.094. They just told me up in the booth that he had faster and faster times each and every pass. And with that speed, he was able to run away with that victory while also shedding body parts there like a cicada. He said, "Get it off of me." And now he walks away with a victory. We got to talk to this man. We're going to get him on the microphone, but Minneapolis, you guys want to see him real quick? Because he's making his way out of the bus. Give it up for Classroom Crusher.
Camden, congratulations on this JCB Racing win. You may have heard Ray just say it there. You got faster and faster each time, ending up with just a little bit over 19 seconds. Was it true that this track did get faster tonight, or was it just you in your zone?
I don't know. This track has to be one of the trickiest tracks we have had all year. It was smooth as ice out there. It really was super, super slick. I thought I made a mistake against Adam, but man, I was able to recover. But man, I'm having so much fun slipping and sliding the old school bus out here. Who doesn't love a 12,000-pound school bus slipping and sliding? But man, I'm having a blast. Minneapolis, you guys having fun so far?
Well, it is Sunday Fun Day, so we are glad to hear you're having fun, but guess what? It is only going to get better. Up next is the Skills Challenge, and this dirt is some of the best for the Skills Challenge. Can you take us through what might be your mindset versus your competitors?
Well, yesterday we didn't have a transmission for skills, so I know my man Shane has been working hard, making sure Classroom Crusher's ready to rock and roll. We're gonna have a transmission. We're gonna get tricky out there. So Minneapolis, are you guys ready for some more Monster Jam?
Now, after seeing some of those moves, you may be wondering, well, how does the fuel work? I will show you. Right here is a specially constructed fuel cell on the back of a Gravedigger, and this fuel cell holds 26 gallons of methanol fuel, thanks to Renegade. And if you look a little bit closer, you can actually tell that there are wiffle balls inside of the fuel cell. There are over 250 wiffle balls inside of this fuel cell, and that helps make it to where the methanol does not end up going out. So it essentially helps so that it does not slosh around during the skills competition. So now go ahead and tell your friends and family. Now you know how it works. But we've got some exciting action to come. Let's take it to the track.
Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Head on over to judgeszone.com. Submit your scores now.
Matt Pagliarulo, Jester pulling off the popper coming off of the ramp. Great move here to start us off in the skills competition. You can see the technical abilities there on the track. Being able to balance 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck is impressive. But what will the score be? Lock them in at judgeszone.com. Waiting for the score to come up on the board. And the score of 5.997 for Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. He gets us started here in the skills competition. From Conroe, Texas, it's Kevin Crocker, Megalodon.
Kevin Crocker, Megalodon. Head on over to judgeszone.com. Submit your scores.
Well, over goes Kevin Crocker, Megalodon. They said he had some breakage there on the truck. I believe they said a broken rear axle is what happened. Lindsay, I'm not sure if you are able to hear me, but what could have caused that broken rear axle on Megalodon, or is that what it was?
Yeah, it does look like it could just be that rear axle, but that is a really quick fix here for Team Scream and for those technicians in the back, so they'll get that fixed before freestyle. But something like that just happens from there being so much pressure in the moment coming to a dead stop like that. So it looks like they will go ahead and take Megalodon back into the garage, back into the pits, and get him fixed up good as new.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Lindsay. A 4.812 puts him in second in this competition. Eliza, how are the fans doing, and how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Ray. So we're about to play our St. Jude Helmet Shuffle with Blake and Weston, but the rules are, Blake and Weston, you got to tell me your favorite Monster Jam truck first. So who is it?
El Toro Loco. Megalodon.
Some really good answers over here from Blake and Weston. Well, Blake and Weston, we are going to play our St. Jude Helmet Shuffle. So take a look up at the big screen here. We're going to hide a trophy under one of these St. Jude helmets, shuffle them up a bunch, and then you got to guess which one it's under. In Minneapolis, make sure you're keeping an eye out too, because you got to yell out that answer for Blake and Weston if you think you know it before they do. All right, that was too easy, so we're going to shuffle them up again. Keep your eyes on it, because I already lost track. All right, I think they're slowing down. Minneapolis, what do you think it is? But Blake and Weston, your answer matters the most.
One.
All right, we have a consensus. It's one. Is it helmet number one? Well, it's not number three. And it's not number two. That means it must be number one. Congratulations, you guys. And guess what, for being so smart? After the event today, you guys get to go to our VIP meet and greet upstairs and talk to all your favorite drivers. Minneapolis, make some noise for Blake and Weston. Come on.
Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Sparkle Smash also pulls off the popper, still holding this maneuver. Those back tires moving back and forth. And still holding the move and brings it down.
Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
And Jamie makes her way out of the truck to say what's up to the fans out here in Minnesota. Great job there from Jamie. A great maneuver here. She's had some issues in this competition, but it seems like this week she's really locked in the skills competition. Trying to take it a score of 5.997. And you see here on the Glued to the Action replay, just great control of the truck the entire time. Those back BKT tires moving back and forth. Scores are locked, and the score for Sparkle Smash takes the lead. 7.840 for Sparkle Smash. She's now the driver to beat moving forward in this competition. Jester bumps down to second place. Trying to crawl his way up the board from that 10th place spot from Paris, Texas. It's Tristan England, JCB Digatron. And Tristan throwing into a moonwalk from the popper, still moving across the pot. Combination! From the front tires to the back tires are moving back and forth.
Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
Tristan England, I like that little maneuver. I saw him get out of the truck and she says, get the dirt off of me a little bit. That was nice. A combination move, multi-combinations out there. You see here on the Glued to the Action replay, gets into the popper, says, let's moonwalk it backwards. And then after that, he just goes from that combination into another and then launch it into a wheelie on the end. So great maneuvers there from Tristan England. And the score for JCB Digatron is, yes sir, 8.940, putting him at the top of this competition. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, bumps down to second place, and now he is the driver to beat JCB Digatron. Getting back to the action on the track from Columbus, Michigan, it's Jim Kohler, Avenger. He goes for a popper on that attempt. He still has one attempt remaining. Let's find out if he's going to go for the same maneuver, if he's going to switch it up. A veteran Monster Jam driver, Jim Kohler, so he has a bag of tricks like no other. Plenty of options for him to choose from.
Jim Kohler in Avenger. Submit your scores now, judgeatzone.com.
Jim Kohler, Avenger. Definitely something off with the truck there. It seemed like it was underpowered when he went for that popper maneuver, and then after that, he goes for the donut attempt, but couldn't even lock it into there. So we're gonna have an update with Lindsay Noble after the halftime report there to get you an update on Avenger. Score coming up on the board for Jim Kohler. 3.346 for Avenger. That's 5th place currently in the competition. But getting back to the action. From Quebec, Canada, it's Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. I see some of the crowd doing it, got the trucker horn going.
Class in donuts, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Head on over to judgeatzone.com.
Yeah, that was more than a baker's dozen on those spins. She was rotating for a minute, and she faces the end zone perfectly to say what's up to the fans. Cynthia Gauthier, that was impressive there. Plenty of spins. And seeing if she can take out the top spot of 8.940. Cynthia saying what up to the fans as well. And she points up to Ava. That's her daughter on the screen. Family coming out to visit her. Got her little one with her. Trying to take out 8.940. And the score for Lucas Stabilizer is 7.459. Good enough for 3rd place in the competition. Tristan England, JCB Digatron, hangs on to the lead so far in this competition. And up there, you see the number of rotations, count them out. That's already at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sorry, I should have done it, my bad. I don't know, it's too many spins for me to count. And it puts her in 3rd place in this competition. JCB Digatron, top spot currently. Coming up next, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Camden Murphy could be trying for that moonwalk across the ramp. Yes, he is.
Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Head on over to judgeatzone.com.
Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher with a great move. Moonwalk all the way across the ramp, bouncing it down. You saw him take the racing competition victory. Camden locked in on a Sunday. Hitting that go sign, and it was go from the moment he hit the track. A beautiful moonwalk across the ramp, bounces back to those back BKT tires. Scored a beat at 8.940, and the score for Classroom Crusher is good enough for 2nd place, an 8.897. JCB Digatron still hangs on. Classroom Crusher in 2nd. He's been competing since 2014. It's Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris. Colt Stevens, and I think he's going to be lining it up for a bicycle attempt. We haven't seen this move yet today. I don't think we saw an attempt yesterday either, so the first driver to try it here in Minneapolis. Here he goes. So another question is, does he get one more attempt, or scoring is open, judgeszone.com, so lock in those scores. He does not get another attempt. What he was trying to do was drive on the side of the BKT tires, tilted at an angle, so does not get another attempt out here in the bicycle in the skills competition. Was going for the bicycle, and that'll do it for Colt Stevens. Thunder Roar. Scores are coming in, judgeszone.com. Not what Colt wanted out there. Thought he might have gotten another attempt, but that's all right. Colt hangs out of the window, says what's up to the fans, in a 4.869 for Thunder Roars. That's sixth place currently in the competition. And he has his wife and kid there on the video board as well. The first Monster Jam event to cheer him on. JCB Digatron, an 8.940, is leading the competition. That is Tristan England. And this is an important competition for him, as he has to need to make up ground, as he had his lowest finish so far of the season in JCB Racing. Camden Murphy Classroom Crusher at 8.897 with a hot start today here on Sunday. Still that driver to beat. Still have more competitors remaining here in the skills competition. Get your next driver coming up here soon. Your next competitor, the youngest competitor in the field at only 21 years old. And yesterday's overall event champion. Can he do it again? Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur.
Back to the bakery with these donuts from Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Head on over to judgeszone.com.
Mike coming out of the window too to say what up to the people. Now, he got into that maneuver so quickly. You saw he came from the tunnel, so he was back behind the scenes. I don't know if you saw that BKT tire wasn't spinning. You see there on the video board. That's because he came out broken and still went into those donuts with furiosity. Just driving with aggression there, obviously frustrated, but was able to put together a great donut run. The score coming up for Excalibur is 6.792, so still add some valuable points to his run. Just frustration pouring through for Mikey there, especially after a great event yesterday. Gonna have to fix that truck, but getting back to the action. Chris Kohler, Mayhem. Mayhem on the pod. A balancing act back and forth. Just maneuvering around the pod.
Chris Kohler in Mayhem. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
Great move there from Chris Kohler in Mayhem, just complete control, and you see the balancing act swaying back and forth, just like a little dance out here, and then Chris says what's up to the people hanging out of the window. Great move, but is it enough to get that top spot? Tristan England, JCB Digatron, still looking for his first skills win of the season. And the score for Mayhem is 7.666. So you have just about even between the expert score and the fan score with 7.932. JCB has been able to hang on, but we still have 2 drivers remaining in this competition. From Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, it's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger.
Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Submit your scores now on judgeszone.com.
Well, Adam Anderson with the donut, and then you heard during that run the puttering sounds there of Gravedigger. Lindsay, if you can hear me, do you know what could cause that?
I know right now that he is in communication with his crew chief, Devin Roper. I'll get the story on that as soon as possible. But what we know about Adam is that even before he could be behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck, he was actually had to know everything about it. He had to know everything about it from top to bottom with his father. So what tells me is that he knew something was going on, and that is why he chose to do donuts. But we will find out as soon as possible.
That's right. Here at Monster Jam, consistency is key. So sometimes just getting some points is what's going to help you out in the standings. He decides to do that. A 6.910 is good enough for 6th place. Your final driver in this competition took the skills competition win. Can he get back to the top of the leaderboard? It's Joe Foley, El Toro Loco.
He certainly puts the loco in El Toro Loco. Joe Foley. Head on over to judgeszone.com.
Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, he was trying to do the same maneuver that got him the victory yesterday. He was able to save it, so he did a slap wheelie, popping onto the front 2 BKT tires and set it down safely. Unfortunately today, rollover, not able to get on all 4 BKT tires. So you see here the slap wheelie popping off of the pod and then just rolls over. Last contestant here in this competition, 8.940 is the score to beat, and the score for El Toro Loco is not enough, which means that your winner in the skills competition is Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Gets his first skills competition victory of the series. He took the most skills competition wins last year on Stadium Championship Series West and finally breaks the curse here on East, gets the victory, and makes up some valuable points. Let's talk to him, Lindsay.
Thanks, Ray. Congratulations, Tristan, on that skills challenge win here. You know, obviously giving you 12 points towards a potential championship here tonight, but more importantly, potentially towards a series championship. We know how hard you're working for that. Why does every competition matter?
Well, it really does. I mean, and it's not just the JCB races, it's not just the two-wheel skills. It comes down to freestyle, too. You guys saw me go out there, and I fell down on my face in racing, so now I'm trying to pick it back up. But the most important thing that I can do inside the cab of this Monster Jam truck and with you Monster Jam fans is have fun, because that's when everything falls into place. All the dominoes fall, and it's only when you have a good time, because when I get in my own head and I think too much about it, that's when I come out here and I'll find a banana peel on the track and I might end up upside down. But thank goodness we got Fairchild JCB fitting us out with all this equipment this weekend. If you need a piece of equipment, please reach out to them. Tell them I sent you. You might get the royal treatment since my last name's England. But man, Minnie, that's just a taste of what's to come. I want to freestyle this truck and break it in half till it won't go anymore, but I got to know if you guys are ready. Let me get a taste. Are you ready?
Monster Jam fans, give it up one more time for your skills winner.
Hey, I got one quick shout out. You can't cut me off yet, Lindsay. My little boy, Crash Madness. He's watching right now from the couch with his beautiful mama. I love you guys so much. I'll be in Texas soon. Hey, babe, I got a serious question. I know we're married and all, but will you be my Valentine? I love y'all, man. See you, Minnie.
Great job, Minneapolis. It's Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Colt Stevens a big air there into a slap wheelie. Halfway through this run, still moving around the track, but I think we might see it for the first time on a Sunday. The Morgan & Morgan backflip. Combination into a moonwalk. 40 seconds remaining in this run. Let's go, Colt. Takes flight, gets a little dicey, but puts it down. "30 seconds remaining in this run. Colt, all the time in the world to add to it. What you got?" Just under 20 seconds remaining. Oh, with the spin! Colt just spinning and puts it down!
What a way to kick off freestyle! Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
Oh, I know Colt's hyped up. He's making his way out of the, oh, he's not hanging out the window. He's hopping out of the truck. Colt Stevens, how about ya? Points up to his family, got the wife and his twin boys on there, on the screen. Colt just delivered, banging on the chest, feeling like he's the best. This has a chance for a really good score right here. Probably the best run I've seen from Colt. That save was ridiculous. We'll take a look at the replay after this. And the score for Thunderoris is Oh, that's a good score. Oh, hit him with the dance. Hit him with the dance. 9.288. This man just kicked off the competition. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. There were some great moments in this moment, or in this run, I should say. Here's the save, I think. He's just spinning and spinning and spinning. He says, let me save it. Put it down. It ain't nothing. Dancing on the track. Great run from Colt Stevens. That might have been the save of the year, man, in my humble opinion, I should say. There were so many spins on that. I said, do a barrel roll. I got this thing. The man from Houston, Texas kicks us off in the competition. But now getting back to the action. Let's get a little chaos out there. Chris Kohler, mayhem. Getting a little crazy, bringing that mayhem, living up to its name. Beautiful bounce and puts it down safely. Slowing it down halfway through this run, under 60 seconds. You know what he's lining up for. Morgan and Morgan, backflip. Getting some great distance. 40 seconds on the clock for Chris Kohler mayhem. Kicking up dirt.
Chris Kohler in mayhem. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
Chris Kohler. Mayhem bringing the heat here to Minneapolis. You see the flames coming out of Mayhem, and Chris and Colt just delivered on these first two runs. Now, Chris Kohler did just leave a bit of time on the clock. I believe over 20 seconds. That has been affecting the expert score, but that run had a bit of everything. And Chris says what's up to Minneapolis. Living up to that name, Mayhem. Score to beat is that 9.288. He's rolling out there on the track. Score will be coming up on the board here shortly. Which one will it be? Does he take the lead? The score for Mayhem is 7.743 for Chris Kohler. Mayhem just leaving a little bit too much time, but the final time you'll see this driver this weekend. Give it up for Chris Kohler, Mayhem.
Hanging out with Brinley and Brinley's dad down here. Brinley's dad, you were just telling me this is Brinley's first Monster Jam. What do you think so far? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Brinley's dad, is this your first Monster Jam?
No,
Do you know how many you've been to?
probably about 6.
Probably about 6. Do you have a favorite Monster Jam truck?
I like them all.
He likes them all, and I love that answer. Now, what about you, Brinley? Do you have a favorite yet?
I should like a unicorn.
The unicorn. We love Sparkle Smash. Good answer, Brinley. All right, well, Brinley and Brinley's dad, we're about to play some trivia. So take a look up at the big screen over there. We're going to ask you a question from one of our drivers, and if you get the answer right, you might go home with a really cool prize. Let's take a look. Now, Minneapolis, if you think you know the answer before they do, shout it out for us. Hearing a lot of different answers, but you guys, your answer matters the most, so what do you think?
Say A.
A.
We think it's A. Is it tubular steel, A? Good answer, Brindley and Brindley's dad. It is A, tubular steel. So for being so smart, Brindley and Brindley's dad, you guys are going home with your very own zombie Monster Jam Losi. So Brindley, if you want to be a Monster Jam driver when you grow up, Dad can teach you how on this. Make some noise for Brindley and Brindley's dad. Come on.
Do me a favor here, Minneapolis. Put those fins together. Let me see that Megalodon chomp. I see some of y'all doing it. There it is. I see some of y'all doing it. Coming up next, he has 3 overall event championships in his career. He's been competing since 2014. We're gonna need a bigger boat. It's Kevin Crocker, Megalodon. Halfway through this run, Kevin Crocker using all of the obstacles. Gonna need to get some wow moments if he has a chance. Uh-oh, Kevin, does he have a save?
Kevin Crocker in Megalodon. Head on over to judgeszone.com, submit your scores.
Kevin Crocker leaves just a little bit over 30 seconds on that run, went for the big air, and unfortunately, as the rollover, gonna get him back on all 4 BKT tires. Not sure if this has enough to get to the top spot. Colt Stevens with that 9.288 leads the competitors, but some good moments in that you see here. I think this is the big air, just comes down a bit wonky on the side of that pod and just rolls over. Score coming up on the board for Megalodon, a 6.707, good enough for 3rd place in the competition for Megalodon. We're gonna get him back upright and get back to the action soon, but Lindsay, there's been so much action behind the scenes. You got an update for us?
There certainly has. This track is a little bit tricky, but the guys are telling me that it is a really great dirt conditions. Right now I'm joined by Chris Kohler, driver of Mayhem. And Chris, you just looked on as your teammate Kevin Crocker attacked that track. Huge air from him off of these entire ledges there. But talk to us about your run and what it felt like behind the wheel. I know you left 20 seconds off, sort of cost you there in the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 20 seconds, I feel like I was pretty criminally underscored there, but I guess it depends what the name on the side of your truck is. But, yeah, I mean, it's wet out there. The dirt crew, though, I mean, you get in big air all night. If you look at the jumps, some of them are only like waist high. It doesn't matter how big it is. It could be like 20 feet high or waist high. It's all about the angle in the cup. The dirt crew out here is killing it. They build the jumps massive, so I can tell you right now, Gravedigger, Avenger, all these guys camped, and they're going to be launching it to the moon. This track is perfect. It's all transfers. It's big risks. That's why you see a lot of crash and a lot of cartwheels, because everything's a transfer. You're jumping over something, you're jumping into something, so it makes a lot of exciting freestyles.
And we just saw during the halftime report that your dad was quite literally underneath of his truck trying to get it back to Freestyle, and he was supposed to be slotted to be going just now. We've had to move him down in that lineup. How long does something like that take? We saw your entire team working hard.
It really depends on the breakage, but I mean, that's the best part about being independent. We take so much pride in what we do. We build these trucks from the ground up. We're in charge of driving them, running them to the ground, fixing what we break, and doing it again the next weekend. Even Dad's in there getting in on it. He wants his truck ready. He's gonna get that thing fixed. He's gonna come out here, he's gonna tear it in half, and we're gonna do it again next week. Dad's the man. He's been doing it for almost 30 years right now. That's why he's a 2-time champ. He puts in so much heart. So do all of us out here. It's just shout out to the independents. It's just such a beautiful thing to see. So hopefully they get it done. I haven't been able to get back there because I was freestyling, but yeah, I'll tell you right now, if he gets that truck running, you guys are in for a treat tonight.
Great job here today. Monster Jam fans, make some noise. Chris Kohler in Mayhem.
From one independent driver to the next independent driver, the 2024 Rookie of the Year award winner, it's Mike Pagliarulo. Excalibur. "70 seconds on the clock for Mike Pagliarulo. And Mike just spinning from one side to the other, and that'll do it for his run. Scoring is open. Head on over to judgeszone.com. Lindsay, I'm going to go to you right now because we were talking, something's up with that truck. Can you give me an insight to what's going on out there?
Absolutely, Ray. So they were working on the axle back there. They thought it was just going to be that inner axle. Now it looks like what is actually happening is they're only having 3-wheel drive out there. So they're definitely going to have to fix that before next week's competition. Essentially what's probably happening is that drive shaft has loss of power right now. So if that wheel is not turning that way, what it means is that that locker is messed up and it has a weak locker, meaning that it has weak torque, weak power going to each wheel. So if you followed us during trackside, you heard me talk about how that third member really is in charge of making sure that both tires, both wheels are moving at the same time in that inner axle assembly, essentially. And so you could tell just now on Excalibur that that was not the case. But absolutely incredible work by this young driver to be able to fill that kind of time here, especially when you only have 3-wheel drive.
Well, not the finish that he wanted, but he did take a BKT overall event win yesterday. A Monster Jam giveth, Monster Jam taketh. You go from the top to the very next day. You just struggle throughout the competition. That's the name of the game out here. Unscripted. You never know what you're going to get. It is a live event. Mike has been struggling with those gremlins of the Monster Jam truck, but give him a big round of applause, battling through, still putting points on the board for Mike Pagliarulo. Giving him the nickname Minnesota Mike. This has been the lucky city for him, and then on to Sunday, just unable to get a victory. Last time you see him this weekend, Mike Pagliarulo. Classroom Crusher still at the top of the leaderboard, but he has to hold off the guy in second place. I think y'all know who this truck is. Gravedigger 113 seconds on the clock. The clock is paused. Came out right into his run. Now remember, he did have some misfires during his skills run. I had asked Lindsay about that, and they were working on it during the halftime break. Now, is this what we're seeing again? Issues with that transmission. Trying to see if he's giving hand signals inside the truck. He's communicating with the crew, also the people upstairs. He refires. He's able to run. It's Adam Anderson. Gravedigger. Lindsay, help me out here if you want to jump in real quick. What are we seeing right now?
This is definitely unfortunate, especially for someone like Adam Anderson, the black and green wrecking machine. You know, when we see this, what's happening is during halftime, they did switch out that fuel map. And so we knew that that's something that they were going to look into. I talked to Devin Roper, his crew chief, and he took a look at all of the fuel lines, made sure that everything was going okay. During halftime, they actually emptied out that fuel cell, and they were able to pull out some of those wiffle balls and did replace that fuel mat. So what you're seeing right here, you know how I mentioned that there are 250 wiffle balls inside of this fuel cell. So you can see right now that they're pulling them out one by one to be able to reach that fuel mat in the bottom of that fuel cell. So here with one of that fuel cell, it was 26 gallons of methanol fuel. So they had to essentially move enough wiffle balls to be able to get inside of that fuel cell. What I'm showing you here is actually the fuel lines that I had previously seen Devin check out. So they did already replace that, and now they're looking at figuring out exactly what's happening here, because it is clearly not the fuel mat. It seems like it may be two things here, and there might be a double-edged sword. So we're going to be talking to Devin Roper in Gravedigger's crew chief to be able to figure out exactly what's going on with Adam Anderson. But never fear, you guys can see him at the VIP meet and greet later on here today.
Well, you see, we have Lindsay working hard back there along with the crew. These drivers are battling not only each other, not only their abilities, but also the truck and these conditions of the track. So just unfortunate for Adam Anderson. I know that's not how he wanted this to go as well after a tremendous event yesterday. He was second place in this competition that has major impacts to his score. He's trying to get to the top. It will not happen here on a Sunday. Getting back to the action. This next driver celebrating 25 years of this Monster Jam truck, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. Joe put together a great freestyle run yesterday, and it was cut short at about the 30-second mark. He had frustration as well. Had a chance to get his first overall event victory. Didn't happen on a Saturday. Can he make it happen on a Sunday? And seeing if he is coming from the back, as I'm looking at the pits, and I do not see an El Toro Loco. But you can hear an El Toro Loco. What an entrance. He's off. He goes flying! Halfway through this run, 60-second mark. He's going to line it up for some more air around the track. Oh, Joe with the cartwheel. Put it down, Joe. Yes, Joe. 30 seconds remain. Will he add the Morgan to Morgan backflip? Gonna bring it around. He lines it up. He eyes it. He tries it. He buys it. 20 seconds on the mark. Is he done?
Joe Foley and El Toro Loco. Head on over to judgeszone.com. Submit those scores.
What it do, Joe? Joe Foley, El Toro Loco came out flying. We got to take a look at that jump later on the replay, but Joe leaves 21 seconds on the clock. Helmet still on now. Let him see that hair, Joe. Come on, man. Best hair in the game. The people got to see it. Give them what they want. Great run here. Joe Foley delivers. Score is locked. 9.288 is the score to beat. And the score for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco is not enough. 8.937, and he's perplexed. You see him say, how? Throws down the thumb. He did not like that at 8.5 for the expert score. 22 seconds left on the clock. The time's coming into play, but let's get a little bit of this. Huge Morgan and Morgan backflip. Breakage occurred on the landing. Boom! And he was done. You see that back left BKT tire just pop. But Joe has had himself a great weekend here in Minneapolis. He went flying during that run. I thought we might have had a replay of it. That is the biggest error we've seen of the night on the glued to the action replay. Coming off that jump and out of the tunnel. El Toro Loco. Lindsay, we've been talking to you, but are we talking to anyone else?
Ladies and gentlemen, just like I promised, if he gets it ready, he's gonna burn it to the ground. The two-time Jim Kohler Avenger!
Run. Will they let him continue? He did hit the barrier. 72 seconds on the clock. They're checking with the officials. Clock is paused. I hope they let him run. Out comes the JCB Dirt Squad. And hey, Minneapolis, that'll do it. They say he hits the obstacle. That is the end of his time after some major error, and he is done. Scoring is open. And a 1 second penalty will be added to his time. He left 72 seconds on the clock. If you do not clear at least a minute of your run, a 1 second penalty. But look at this error. I have a flight with Delta later today, and I think I could have just hopped on Avenger and gotten home. He was up there for a minute, put wings on that thing. Avenger went flying. The two-time World Finals champion, Jim Kohler, 6.4 and an 8.6, another 2-point discrepancy on the board, and also a 1 second penalty, a 1 point penalty added to his time. Jim Kohler, the legend, Mr. Excitement, the last time you'll see him out here in Minneapolis this weekend. Let the man hear ya. Began competing in 2023, Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. 60 seconds in this run, halfway through. Parts are going flying, got a yard sale on the track, but Jamie's still moving. Slows it down just a bit to get across the other end of the track. You know what that means. You're slowing it down for the Morgan and Morgan backflip. Here we go. Beautiful backflip, executed perfectly. Ten seconds remaining in this run. She has a chance for another hit. What can she do?
She can do it without the unicorn horn. Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Submit your scores now, judgeszone.com.
How's it going, Jamie? Good run out there. Yes, Sparkle Smash did get a haircut midway through the run, but still looking good, still looking fresh. You don't need the horn. You got Jamie behind the wheel, making that move over from arenas to stadiums and delivering in freestyle. You see here, glued to the action replay, Morgan and Morgan backflip, doesn't know where she's going, just knows where she has been. Finished the complete run. Waiting for those scores to come in. Score coming on the board for Sparkle Smash is good enough for third place, is 7.984. Thunder Roar is Colt Stevens is the first truck that we saw, and he's been able to hang on to this lead. So you see here on the leaderboard at 9.288 is still leading the competitors. Joe Foley at 8.937 and Sparkle Smash in third with a 7.984. Still moving here in Monster Jam Freestyle. Also, if you see there on the track our JCB Dirt Squad and USHRA safety officials. If you can give them a round of applause, they're the ones that keep us safe and keep us going. You see how fast they cleared the track. Give it up for the people behind the scenes. Doing a great job. Two-time series champion, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Oh, does a skills move in freestyle. Beautiful stoppy. Moonwalk combination. Goes forward, yes! Clock is paused, 73 seconds on the clock. Tristan with a beautiful save, and he's just waving. He's giving him a hand signal.
Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Submit your scores now. You know what to do.
And I'm trying to figure out what's happening right here. You see Tristan giving a hand signal. I think he's saying he wants to keep going, or he's broken. Not sure. He is done with that run. 72 seconds. You see the frustration and communication there with his team on the track after a beautiful save, and just more discrepancy between him and the team. Throwing out the steering wheel, did not like that, but he's going to make his way out of the truck to say what's up, Minneapolis. All the emotions pouring through, just pointing up to the booth, saying that he's not happy with that, but Tristan leaving it all on the track. A 6.176. And you got to be in the house for these things. You love seeing the motion on their sleeves. The final time you'll see him this weekend, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. As you see here on the video board, we do have our St. Jude donations that have been made throughout the event. They've been made on behalf of your favorite Monster Jam truck, so fun competition. We're about to name our St. Jude ambassador of the event, but we have our QR code up one more time. If you'd like to make a last-second donation, you can do so by scanning the QR code, and we'll name our ambassador here shortly. We've been raising a ton of money throughout the series. We had our most raised in Indianapolis last week, so if Minneapolis would like to add to that and maybe take the lead on the series donation amount, you can donate on behalf of your favorite Monster Jam truck. And naming our ambassador here shortly, scan the QR code for St. Jude. Feeling for Tristan England on that run, all the emotions pouring out, frustration definitely affects where he places in this run, and also a 1-point penalty added to his time, or to his score, I should say, as he did not finish 60 seconds or more. But getting back to the action, Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. Pagliarulo gets dicey, but does save it. 70 seconds on this clock. Halfway through this run, slowed it down for the backflip. And just lining it up, comes in at an angle. Eating up valuable time to this run, but he's gonna do it. The Morgan to Morgan backflip. .30 seconds left on the clock, and scoring is open. Head on over to judgeszone.com, lock in those scores for Matt Pagliarulo. Matt also been battling the truck conditions throughout the last couple of weeks. Finally got a good freestyle run in. Unfortunately hits the obstacle. 30 seconds left on the clock, so we'll see how that plays out. Lined up for this Morgan & Morgan backflip for a second, so still had a good chunk out of this thing. Waiting for scores to come in. Colt Stevens Thunder Oris came out hot, a 9.288. And Matt makes his way out of the truck, and the score coming in for Jester is a 6.922. Good enough for 5th place currently in the competition. Give it up for Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. Halfway through this run for Cynthia Gauthier. Solid air. Gonna need some wow moments for this. I'm sure that we'll see it, but she forgoes the backflip ramp right now. Keeps adding to it. Turning around in tight corridors, aiming for that 8-pack. The Morgan & Morgan backflip. Quick spin and a boom.
Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Submit your scores now. You know what to do.
Over rotates, but you see her waving inside of the truck. Let me see those trucker horns going one more time for Cynthia Gauthier. I saw some of y'all doing it. Cynthia also has Ava and her family there on the video board. Over rotates off of that 8-pack Morgan & Morgan backflip, the first truck to hit the 8-pack. Score coming in a 9.288, score to beat, and the score coming up shortly after this replay. You see just the over rotation, it just damaged there to the back BKT tires. Score is locked. Score coming up for Lucas Stabilizer, a 7.938, good enough for 4th place in the competition. Gonna get her back into action here in just a bit. More freestyle coming your way, but Eliza, I know you've been with the fan. He took yesterday's freestyle competition. Can he go back to back? It's Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Clock is paused, 88 seconds on the clock. Camden Murphy is in the top spot in this competition. Is he running into issues now? That's been the story here on a Sunday in Minneapolis. With live events, you never know what's going to happen. If he's able to refire, he will be able to compete. Can he refire? He's talking to his crew chief. That is Shane that he's talking to. 88 seconds on the clock. Still communicating, 88 seconds. And with that, scoring is open. They say he's unable to continue in that run. 1 point deduction in that time. Colt Stevens Thunder Roars went first in this competition, and I think that he's going to walk away with the freestyle victory, but it's not in there yet. You see Colt on camera. He's already celebrating, still waiting for those scores to come in for Classroom Crusher. 1 point deduction will be added to their time. Your winner let's see the score first for Classroom Crusher. What will it be? Camden Murphy on the track. That is 11th place, 4.473, which means that your winner in freestyle. He's on the screen. Colt Stevens Thunder Roars. But let's see, is it also enough for an overall event win? Your winner in this competition, Colt Stevens Thunder Roars. He gets it done with 26, so celebrating on the track, and he walks away with the victory. So Colt Stevens Thunder Roars, he has his kids on the screen, his twins at their first ever event that they come to, trophy in hand. And he gets the victory.
I don't know if you had the chance to see it, but your wife and babies were just on the board, your twin boys at their first weekend of Monster Jam here. This moment has to be huge for you as a second-generation driver to have your little ones up there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. This just became my favorite event of all time. I'm a World Finals champion, but to have my two twin boys and my wife here this weekend, to come home with a championship is epic. With this lineup, I can't believe it. It's been 10 years since I drove in this building, and I tell you what, I love you, Minnie!
Give it up one more time for Colt Stevens Thunder Roars.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Colt Stevens Thunder Roars. He walks away as a freestyle winner and your BKT overall event win. And I don't want to say that I told you so, Liza, but Colt was actually my choice. I don't think he was your choice.
It was actually you and Lindsay's choice.
You were
so
just
that's
wrong.
on me.
Should have listened to me and Lindsay then, but there you have it. Also, congratulations to our St. Jude ambassadors of the event. I believe it was Matt Pagliarulo, but we'll double check with that. But thank you so much for your donations to St. Jude. Eliza, you did great today. I appreciate you coming out.
Well, thank you. You too, Ray.
Well,
I can't wait to do it again next week.
Okay, yeah, well, let's do it again, but this time in Arlington. Sound good to you?
Sounds great.
I'm gonna head to Texas tonight. How about that? Go ahead and do that. Please be safe on your way home, on your way out. Stop by the merch stands, pick up the latest Monster Jam Spin Master. My name is Ray. This is Eliza. That was Lindsay. And that was Monster Jam. We'll see you next time, y'all.